Hey guys, welcome back to another 1T Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Martin, joined by, again, the one and only Steven. Welcome back, Steven. You've been on vacation for a while.
Yeah, I have. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I was just stuck waving there for a moment. I couldn't do anything.
Nice.
How have you been?
Good. I guess I've been living on a rock.
Oh, why is that? Have you even been watching these playoffs? Have you been keeping up?
The only one that matters, of course, I've been keeping up with. The Toronto Maple Leafs one. I have not gotten much time to watch any other games, which is a little sad because they do look they look exciting. We can talk about them. You can go into more detail and
I just wanted to say, like, you've been missing out on probably some of the best playoffs in a long time. Like the first round, we had one sweep, and then the rest were either game sixes and then 5 game sevens. Like,
yeah, that's
what a way to start off, right?
Yeah,
pretty wild.
Okay, so today, since we haven't done a video in a while now, I'm just playing around with things, and it's not good. Not a good thing to do whilst you're streaming. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the first round, current second round, the big highlights of the amalgamation of things. We're going to start with the first round, and of course, your very own Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh boy, we're going to start off with that one. Okay.
I think it's only fair, unless you want to get rid of the other nonsense.
No. I guess no. We'll talk about that one first, since that's the one we'll probably spend the most time on anyway. So
start with the juiciest one.
Yeah. Well, that's the one that you watched, right?
That's the only one that I watched.
Okay, so I guess I'll start by asking you, like, what did you think of it? Like, how did you think both teams played, and what did you think of just the series overall?
Well, I definitely think that Toronto did better than Montreal last year. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they looked a lot better, that's for sure.
They did look a lot better. I can give them credit for trying this year, and so far from the re-signing, it's going pretty well with Giordano signing recently. 2 years, $800,000. It's a good deal. The Leafs have a lot more promise in the books. It's just the question is, even if they brought Tampa Bay to 7, does that matter in the grand scheme of things? Does it matter that they did go to game 7 and just like regular old fashioned, they lose in dramatic fashion. Not as big of dramatic fashion. There was a goal that was overturned in game 7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that one.
And that one pissed you off big time.
I mean, not just me, man. There's a lot of people who were in the same boat as me who were just, I don't know, frustrated, but it's a weird one. I don't know. Looking back at it now, I mean, there's been enough time to pass, so I feel like I can look at it with a more level head.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. At the time, I still stand by what I originally thought, which was it shouldn't have been an interference call. But at the same time, like, yeah, maybe Hall didn't need to go down into the zone like that. Like, he's playing the point. I don't know what he thought was, like, Tavares was doing. I don't know why he decided to come in that deep. I think he wanted a one-timer. But then when you get to the top of the circles, like, why keep skating?
Right.
Because then that's the thing. You could put yourself in a bad situation and, end up costing your team a goal, and then also, now your team's on the penalty kill because of it. So that's the last thing you want to do in a game 7.
That's right.
That's for sure. So again, one of those things where I don't think it should have been a call, but at the same time, maybe Hall should have tried something different there. But I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, not too upset about it now. It sucks though that, like, again, they played so well. Like, game 1, just that hot start, like winning 5-0. Everyone was feeling good about it. I think all Leaf fans were feeling good.
Too good about it. Way too good about it.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. You still got to realize that, like, it's Tampa Bay. It's only one game. They've done this. They won the cup 2 years in a row now. They know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So, and that's the thing too. Like, it wasn't like Vasilevsky didn't become himself until game 7. Like, games 1 through 6, he allowed at least 3 goals in every game. So
it's just, again, the Leafs can't capitalize on things that are there. And they had the advantage. They won 5-0 first game, and then they lost the next game, but 5-2, 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3, yeah.
And then they went to the Mother's Day game, and that was a blowout and a half.
6-2 win.
Yeah.
Then it was like a 7-3 loss.
Right.
And then the game at home.
That was the Mother's Day then. Mother's Day was 7-3. It was a big L.
Yeah, that was the loss. Yeah, because they played the Friday, then the Sunday was the loss. Game 4. And then game 5. I can't remember the exact score right now, but I remember I think it was like 5-2. They won the game. I want to say.
Okay.
So just a solid win.
Yeah.
Or 4-2, maybe 3-2. I don't know. It was a close one. Maybe 4-3. That was it. They were down 3-2, and then they.
I think it's 5-3, Steven. I think it was 5-3.
Oh, maybe it was an empty netter. I guess no. I'll just check here. I just want to look to be sure.
Anyways,
4-3. Yeah.
This year also Matthews contributed. Marner contributed. They were there, but when it came time, it was game 7. They didn't show up. They weren't there.
No, not on the points.
They weren't really like, you didn't see them. They didn't really stoke fear into the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Well, I mean, because Vasilevsky's in net, man. Like, if I was a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, I would feel so safe every game with Vasilevsky in net. I would never be worried for a moment in my life. Imagine feeling good while watching a hockey game. Because I can't.
Because I can't.
I honestly can't, man. It's never happened once to me as a Leaf fan. I've never once felt like this is a game that I can now actually calm down and just relax about. Like, because especially in the playoffs, where like even when they're up in the game, I'm like, okay, but they haven't won the series yet, so I'm not relaxed.
That's fair.
It's so bad. But I feel like if I had Vasilevsky in net for my team, then oh my god, I'd just be so chill watching a game. Like I'd just be like, no, like you can be getting outshot like
Jack
30
Campbell
to 10.
also did a really good job.
He did play well.
They both played really well. It was just that one team got, I guess, luckier in regards to things.
I mean, they're both really good teams. Like, it was going to be either way. It was going to be a really good team advancing and a really good team going home.
Yeah.
It just sucked that the team that went home is the team that always goes home in those situations. So that's the thing. It was very frustrating at the time. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, it's the same thing again. But it was just so weird though, because like in the past, like especially after last year's performance against Montreal, like that one they were up 3-1 in the series, and we all know how it went. The 2 overtime games, blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Just didn't show up, right? Didn't even show up in Game 7.
Yeah.
At least this time they fought hard in Game 7. It was only a 2-1 game. Like, sure, like Tampa played it to their style, like that they were gonna win that kind of game anyways. But the Leafs were still able to stick with them and made them work for that win. Like, I mean, the 2 Nick Paul goals too. Like I mean, the second one I remember was a broken play. The first one, I think it was just like a defensive breakdown from what I remember. I can't remember exactly now.
I think definitely the first one was a bit more of a fluke or a luck.
No, the second one was the fluke. That was the broken play one where like it was like in his feet and like it just kept moving with him, and then
I thought the second one was when he did a 360.
No, that might have been.
I think that's the second one, Steven.
I don't know, I can't remember, but either way, like you had one broken play and then you had one where it was a 360 or something like that. And even that game too, where Braden Point got hurt. So like there was that window of opportunity where it's like, okay, like they're without like one of their best centers now. Like maybe this is it. Maybe this is actually the time it changes. But no, it just happened to be the same thing. But again, they fought so hard this time.
The first one was just a rebound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah. Okay. So just defensively, I don't know, I guess got to clear it. But yeah, either way though, I mean, played well. Just the better team won in the end, and that's it. I mean, either way, the better team would have won in the end. So, you know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. You run into a really good team in the first round, and that's the way it is with the current playoff format. But, like, it's funny, though, because, like, you look at other playoff formats, like if they did like the 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, the Leafs would have been third and would have had to play Boston in the first round, which like I know a lot of people that I've been talking to are saying like, oh, please, like this should have been the year where it's like, yes, give us Boston.
But watch Boston somehow pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Right? Like that's what I mean. Because then you got Bergeron, Pasternak, and Marchand, who would just be like, "Oh, we've beaten these guys in the first round before." Like they'd be feeling good, and then they get the rest of the team feeling good.
Who would Tampa be facing?
In that case,
Yes,
they would have played the Rangers in round one. That would have been the 4-5 matchup.
Oh,
yeah.
The way that the way that the Rangers are playing, that would be an interesting matchup there.
I mean, still could be a matchup in the conference finals, but I guess we'll get there. We'll get to that.
Exactly. We'll get to that. Last but not least, Stephen, for the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs, do you believe that they should do drastic changes? Do you believe that they should do a change? Do you believe that they should do small, minor changes or no changes at all? That's a lot of questions.
I think there has to be a change being made. You can't go with the exact same team.
Like a Kawhi Leonard trade, or
that would be pretty nice. But the only player that would mean getting traded is Nylander.
Yeah,
which I don't think I'm ready to trade Nylander still. I don't see why you would do that yet. I know I've heard from a lot of people saying that they would trade Nylander for this guy or that guy, and they have all these ideas, which is like, okay, it sounds great in theory, but like when you actually call the other GM, like, first of all, are they going to take it? If they do take it, are you going to be the one coming out as the winner of the deal, or is the other team going to be winning the deal? Because you're giving up William Nylander. He's no slouch. Like, he's 70-point player, or I think he was an even 80-point player this year with 30 goals. So he's a point per game and can score 30 goals. Like, it's not a guy that that every team has. Like, a lot of teams would love a player like that.
He got 80 points this year.
Yeah.
7 points in the playoffs. He was a -9 this year. He has been in the news a lot around his performance, not point wise, but his willpower, what he wants to do. He has flashes of Patrick Laine in the both good and bad ways. So is that really the type of player that you want, who's going to be up and down and who's not going to go into the corners?
Well, I mean, it's funny because I guess he's been probably listening to that criticism because he's playing for Sweden right now at the World Championships. He joined them late.
Okay.
And I saw highlights from last night's game, and he's throwing his body. He's hitting. I don't know how many hits he had in the game, but it's just okay, I think he's starting to take that into consideration, and he's realizing that if he adds that to his game. So, listen, if he's going to do that, we'll see how he plays next year. If we see something different, because that's the thing, it's no different than with Marner, right? He got criticized for not scoring a goal in the playoffs since 2018 or 2019 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And this year he had his best playoff since.
Right.
He showed up, he proved that he wanted to win. So he took that criticism and he put it in his head and was I'm not going to let that happen again. If Nylander could do the same thing, then I have no issues with him on the team. And that's why I'm willing to give him another chance. They still have him for another 2 years anyway, so you don't have to trade him with this year. The year after that would be the time where it's okay, if they still don't win in the first round next year, then I would say yes, take a drastic change, because you only have Matthews for one more year after that next year. You only have Tavares and Marner for 2 more years after next year. Nylander would be on his final year, so I'd say yes. Then you could trade him. I got no issues with that at all.
So what about this coming season, Stephen? What's the plan for this coming season? Do you believe that the Leafs are going to do, and what maybe you would want to see?
Well, I want to see them win a series.
Okay. Well, what do you want to see them do trade-wise? What do you want to see them do, and what do you think is realistic?
Just get similar players that you got this year. I think though, with free agency wise, Mikheyev's probably gone because he's going to be asking for more than what you could afford. I think you keep Engvall because he's younger. He plays really well. Again, he could be better next year too, just with having that extra year of experience.
Yeah.
What else? I'd love for them to keep Lyubushkin, but I have a feeling, especially because like he played well on Arizona, and he proved that he can continue to play well on a competitive team, and he played well in the playoffs too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be able to get paid elsewhere as well, more than what the Leafs could afford him. So it's going to suck to lose him, but again, at the same time, you have guys like Liljegren who's going to be coming up in the lineup. You got Sandin who's going to be back and again ready to take another huge step too. So it's just crazy though to think that like I'm actually agreeing and with like management and saying like yeah like probably should give this core one more chance, but it's like this is like the absolute last chance, and I think everyone's thinking the same way. Like this is it. It's next year or a lot of changes come the year after, and then after that it could be mental the amount of changes that happen.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I would have done it this year, honestly. It's 5 years, man. That's too much.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people would have pulled the trigger this year, but I think it's like, I mean, I was saying the same thing right away too, but then I'm like, no, that's just me saying this because I'm in the moment. You always got to give yourself time, and the more time you give yourself, the better, but you can't give yourself too much time because then that's where you start to overthink.
How many times have Connor McDavid made it past the first round?
Twice.
Yeah.
3 times, actually. Sorry, 3 times. I forgot. No, they got swept last year, so twice, yeah.
And the Florida Panthers, who we'll talk about more later, they also passed the first round for the first time since
96.
The longest streak of not making the first round, I think.
It was. Now it's the Leafs.
Yeah. Now it's given to the Leafs.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Their series. Yeah, so I guess we'll move on to that one now.
Yeah, we could go to Florida. Yeah, we could stop talking about the Leafs.
Yeah, so that was a good series. It went like Washington took the first game in that one, which was kind of a surprise. Florida, it just seemed like they weren't ready from the word go, and then they kind of realized like, oh yeah, like we need to get going here. Like this is what we waited all year for. And they looked to be figuring it out towards the end, but they're still watching their games. Like there was something off about them. Like especially because like I'd be going from watching the Leafs and Lightning, and then the next night would be Panthers and Capitals, and it's like you see the way Leafs and Lightning are playing against each other, and it's like, oh, like this is kind of like the playoffs. Like this is what the playoffs should feel like. And then I go watch those games, and I'm like, it doesn't look the same, you know?
It was a mess.
Yeah, like just the way Florida was winning their games and the way they were playing, like just the goals they're scoring, the goals they're allowing, it's like this doesn't scream like a team that can go far to me. But at the same time, like we'll see. Maybe they just got caught off guard by Washington. Maybe like Washington was just playing that underdog card so hard because like no one was really giving Washington a chance at all. So maybe like they let that get to them or something. But
sure.
Either way, they got it done in the end, and they advanced to the second round to play Tampa, which we'll get to later.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah, other than that, not much else really to be said on that. It was kind of it's just one of those series that like, yeah, got a little bit scary for Florida fans, but they got it done in the end. So
congratulations for passing the first round. There you go.
Yep, exactly.
The next series after that, we can talk about Nashville. I mean, there is still more in the East. What am I doing?
Yeah, we'll stick with these for now.
What's the other one here?
Carolina, Boston?
Yeah, we can talk about them.
Yeah.
I was really thinking that Boston was going to take that one, but I guess Carolina, their skill is just immense. The amount of depth that they have is crazy.
Yeah. Especially on defense, like their whole defense, like all 6 of those guys, could be like top 2 pairing defensemen on any team in the league. It's crazy.
There you go. You heard it here. So it's not surprising then. I mean, they brought it. They brought it to 7.
Yeah, that's for my NHL bracket challenge. I predicted exactly that. I said Carolina in 7.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's exactly the way I thought it would go. Like I knew Carolina was going to win in the end just because they're the better team overall. Mm-hmm. But Washington, Boston just has like I don't know, they have those guys that come playoff time, they know what they're doing and they can win. They can easily force you to go 6 or 7 games.
That's
like they're
right.
not going to go down without a fight. So I knew it was going long, and yeah, Carolina winning in the end was what I thought was going to happen, and yeah, they ended up doing it. I mean, they got such a deep team, like you mentioned, both forward and defense wise, and then goaltending. Antiranta is doing a great job for them. He was even hurt for a couple games, so they went with the other guy, Kotetchev. I always mess up.
I don't know.
Yeah, the guy. I remember he played some games for them late in the season, but he even went in there and. I think he lost a game or maybe won a game. I can't quite remember. But then you also remember that they still have Freddie Anderson, who's still injured.
Jesus.
He's back practicing with the team.
Pyotr Kochetkov.
Yeah, Kochetkov. That's it. I knew it was something like that.
Okay.
Didn't want to butcher it, so thank you for saving me.
It's all good. I'll butcher it for you. His stats are not that great, but that's okay for a backup.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's a rookie goal. Like he played his first games like late in the season, so not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay. Next up, Rangers versus Penguins. This one was again to 7, and this had some controversy, I believe.
Yes, it did. In the game 7, but before that, Pittsburgh with a 3-1 lead, not being able to get it done. That surprised me a lot. I knew it was going to go 6 or 7 at least because the Rangers are a good team. But I just thought, I didn't know if Shesterkin could continue playing the way he was playing in the season. Mm. And young goalies, I always say this, like young goalies, especially in the playoffs, like especially when they're playing their first playoffs, never seems to really go well for them. Or it either goes really well for them or it's a disaster. So, yeah. He ended up doing it in the end. They got I think they chased him in like game 3 or game 4. One of the games in Pittsburgh, I think he allowed 6 goals or 7 goals.
Yeah, game 1, 4-3 for Pittsburgh, went to triple overtime.
Yeah.
Game 2, New York won 5-2. Game 3, 7-4 for Pittsburgh.
That was the one.
And then game 3, 7-4. Game 4, 7-2. For Pittsburgh again.
Oh, so it might have even been that game too. I can't remember which one it was now, but I think it was game 3. I think game 3 was the one because I know I had friends who actually went down to Pittsburgh to watch the game that Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
And they were telling me how they chased Shesterkin from the net and Georgiev went in and I was like, oh, I actually didn't even know that. Yeah. So, but yeah, they ended up coming back. They won game 5, 6. Then it goes to game 7.
Yeah.
And the controversy happens. You're talking about the one with the helmet, right?
Sidney Crosby, yeah.
Well, it wasn't Crosby, it was Pettersson.
But do you remember Sidney Crosby also got injured during the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, that was in game 5, was it? Game 4, 5?
And they had to, that's probably why they lost to the New York Rangers right there.
Yeah, so that was game 5. Yeah, Trouba with the elbow out on Crosby's head. Yeah, it was definitely targeted.
With the concussion history and all that.
Yeah, how Trouba got nothing from that, beyond me. I have no idea how player safety didn't look at that and go that's clear attempt to injure. I don't know, but that's just the way it was. I thought you were talking about though in game 7 where I forgot who it was on the Rangers literally ripped off Marcus Pettersson's helmet.
Oh, wow.
So the rule is...
Yes. Yeah. So, I heard about that one. Yep.
So there's the rule how now that when your helmet comes off, you have to skate off to the bench.
Yeah.
And leave your team shorthanded. So
they say that you could pick up your helmet in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, but what is a reasonable amount of time? What does that mean?
Basically, you have halfway to a whistle or something like that. I don't know.
But at the same time, though, the Rangers guy ripped the helmet off of him. It had nothing to do. It wasn't just a hit and the helmet popped off. It was literally the Rangers guy roughed him up and kind of did it on purpose in a way, you could say.
Right. Okay.
But either way, so yeah, because of that, he had to skate to the bench. While he's skating to the bench, the Rangers tie the game. Yeah. So that's how they tied the game. Then they go to overtime. Penguins take a penalty, and then Panarin rips one home in OT to win the series. So, it leaves a sour taste in Penguins fans' mouths for sure, but I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like I've been on the receiving end of, at least with like, maybe not the Leafs necessarily, but with other teams I watch of things like that, and it sucks, but it's just the way it is. And I don't know.
It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
Yeah. But yeah, the Rangers move on to round 2, and we will get to that one soon.
I feel like the Rangers are like that. That did not seem too clean of a series.
No, it definitely wasn't. Those teams, they already have the track record too of not liking each other, so
right.
It always had that potential to be that way, and I guess you could say it didn't disappoint.
No, I feel like they're moving towards a Boston Bruins type of physicality, dirty plays.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely getting away with a lot more than they used to, and I think that a lot of that is down to their coach. I love Gerard Gallant. I think he's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's good for that kind of thing. Like he coaches the right style and what you want in the playoffs, especially. So, I'm not trying to take a dig at him or anything, saying that like, oh, he's encouraging his players to be dirty. Like, no, he's just telling his players to, be tough out there. And maybe the players are taking it a bit too far. And again, you can't blame them because they're getting away with it. It's the refs and
that's right.
Player safety that's not doing anything about it. So, good job for him for telling his players to play the way they're playing, and they're getting away with it. So it's hard to be mad at them for it. Can't be mad at them for it. They're just getting away with it.
You're absolutely right on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of the Eastern Conference, going to the Western Conference, we're going to be talking about the two quick series here: the Avalanche versus the Predators, and the Wild versus the Blues. Starting with Colorado, is it really a surprise?
No, not at all. That was, I mean, I thought Nashville would at least get one game. They almost did take game 2, which would have been nice. Yeah. That was their best game of the series by far, where they lost 2-1 in overtime. And Connor Ingram, I remember he came in that game for the injured, or no, not injured. Riddick just had a bad game 1, and then Saros was still out, so he wasn't ready to go. So they were like, well, we got to go to our other goalie, and he played phenomenal that night. Like literally stood on his head, kept him in it so much. If they won that game, it would have been because of him. But since they lost it, I mean, he's still the reason why they went to overtime and they had that chance. If they went with Riddick again, that game probably would have ended
differently.
I don't want to.
Okay.
But yeah, they tried their best. Just Colorado's on a mission this year. They have one thing in mind, and they're not stopping for anyone.
No, they have a lot of playoff ghosts that haunt them. They gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, second round.
Second round, we're gonna talk about more about them in the second round since they're there. The Wild and the Blues. This one is a little closer. Went to 6, but the Blues sort of swept them after game 3. Just gave them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, got the 3 straight after that. David Perron getting the playoff hat trick in game 1.
Wow.
All from the same spot and all the same play as well. I think they weren't, I don't know if they were all power play goals, but I know that they were basically all a shot, a rebound, and then him on the left side, lower part of the circle, just one timing it in. I'm this is literally copy and paste for all 3 goals. So that was pretty sick. And I mean, he's continuing to do it even now into the current series, which we'll get to. But yeah, he's having a great playoffs. I've always loved him as a player, especially in the playoffs. He's the kind of guy you want. He can score. He's got that 2-way ability too. He plays with he's not the biggest guy, but he plays like he's big out there. And yeah, he's not afraid to do what it takes to win. And I really love guys that can do that.
What does this mean for Minnesota? I should have asked that about Nashville, but Minnesota, they're in a big cap crunch, unlike Nashville, I'd say.
Yeah.
They are going to have to start paying more and more for the Ryan Suter deal and the Zach Parise. Do you think that in a year or two we're going to see Minnesota blow it up? They're going to just go file for bankruptcy, sell off the players and do a rebuild?
I mean,
They have Kaprizov, right? And then
that's the thing.
Joel Eriksson Ek. They have that base that just got here. I guess you could compare it to the Montreal Canadiens a little bit in the sense that it's like Nick Suzuki and then you got Cole Caulfield, but then the rest of the team is just not there yet. The identity isn't there yet to bring them to a playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just been. I don't know. I feel like that's just how Minnesota's been for the past like 10 years or so now. They've always just been. They're good, and like they had a really good season this year. Like I thought this would be the year that they can finally win a round and like actually maybe not get past Colorado, but at least get past St. Louis just to win a playoff series. But that's the thing. I don't know. They're a weird team. Always have been.
Yeah.
It's so hard to forge an opinion on them because I don't know. It's so strange to me, man. I literally don't know.
That's okay. That's all right. We don't always know everything. Now on to the more interesting series. Both of them very interesting because they are very much alike in their own little ways. Calgary wins it in games. They had to go to Game 7 versus Dallas to win it, and Edmonton had to go to Game 7 to win it against LA. Both final games, Game 7, just a 1-goal difference.
Yes.
And again, 4-3. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 goal. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. No.
Oh, that's all good.
It's not 1 goal difference. But nonetheless, they both have similar scenarios. Do you think that it should have gone to Game 7 for both teams?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. And because the way the LA Kings were playing against Edmonton and the way Edmonton was playing too, like they either had it or didn't have it in that series. But then I think in Game 7, a switch finally clicked for them, and they were like, "Oh, like, you know," I think McDavid just said, "Hop on, everyone, take you to the promised land." Just don't listen to Mike Smith.
Right.
That guy, oh man, he had some rough goals allowed in that one. And then Dallas Calgary, I mean, right from Game 1, when Calgary won that game 1-0, it was like, okay, like this is gonna be a stingy series. And the way Jake Ottinger was playing too for Dallas, like,
oh yeah,
it's insane. Like honestly, that Game 7 overtime, Calgary was just throwing everything on net. And he, like, Ottinger, there was one sequence where he stopped maybe like 3 pucks in a row. Wow. And I literally had no idea how he did it. And I'm like, they're going to win this game, and it's all going to be because of this guy right here in net. And then just, I don't know, like a few minutes later, like Gaudreau just had like the perfect shot. Like it's the only way you're going to beat Jake Ottinger that night. And it was just like, he was trying to get to the post on time. He got there a little bit too late. Like if he was there half a second earlier, that puck stays out of the net, and they're probably still playing overtime to this day.
Right, to this day.
Yeah, that game doesn't end.
Right.
And, like, it just tips off his shoulder and then goes up into the net. But, like, literally, like, he got there, it hit off his shoulder, and then went this way. So if he was there a bit earlier, I think he stops it and it stays out, or it does something else. It doesn't go in the net. But, yeah, Gaudreau just with a smart shot, too. He just kind of picked it up, like, looked up and just threw it at the net, and hey, you know, that's what it was going to take to beat him on that night. So that was a great series. I think Dallas fans will be proud to know that they have a goalie like that on their team. So they'll be feeling good in the future.
Well, with the amount of depth that they have goaltending wise, they have Holtby and then they have Bishop.
No, he's retired now.
Oh, is he retired now?
But I think Khudobin, is he still there or is he gone?
He should be there. I think he was signed for 2 years.
Right. So yeah, then it's Ottinger, Khudobin, and Holtby, and Wedgwood. They have Scott Wedgwood as well, or is it Mackenzie Blackwood? They have one of them.
Probably Wedgwood. I think Blackwood's in New Jersey still.
He still is New Jersey, yeah. I always used to get them confused because they both played on New Jersey and they both had Wood.
That's right.
That's their last name.
So the Calgary series was a tense one. So was the LA Kings one, but I think the Oilers and Kings one was a little more janky. It wasn't as close as the Dallas and Calgary games. At most, you'll see a team get 4 goals, not 8.
Yeah.
LA Kings showed that they have the fighting spirit, but they don't. They're missing Drew Doughty. Do you think that if Drew Doughty was there, that it would be a different series?
Yeah, I think so. Because like I think those like the 6-0, 8-2 games that Edmonton won in game 2 and 3, like those probably would have been a little bit different. Even maybe like some of the other close games, like it would definitely help to have a guy like that in your lineup, a guy who's been there, is very experienced, and knows what he's doing, is very good at what he does as well. Let's not forget that. Like he reemerged this year as like kind of reminding everyone, like, yeah, like this is why, maybe not why he's getting paid as much as he is, because his contract is quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
But at least it was just showing, like, it was just him showing, like, I'm still good. Like, I haven't gone away. I'm not like the way I was the past 2 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was, as much as I am a Canada fan and I want to see a Canadian team win the cup, I was cheering for LA a little bit because of Philip Deneau.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Philip Deneau could maybe shut down Connor McDavid, but maybe the lack of the depth on defense, although they do have some good players there. The one particular guy that used to be a Toronto Maple Leafs prospect. Do you know that? Who's that, Steven?
Sean Durzi?
That's right, Sean Durzi.
Man, you should see, like, the LA Kings, they had like Sean Durzi. I know I think he got a goal in the series.
Okay.
Or at least he had some points and assists. Trevor Moore was also doing stuff, another former Leaf. Carl Grundstrom, another former Leaf prospect, was scoring goals. Yeah, like I just see the three of them every time like the Kings play, and I'm just like, oh, what could have been.
He had a -5 in the playoffs with 3 points in 7 games, and then a -9 this year with 27.
Jersey?
Yeah.
He's young though. He's playing his rookie season, so
on a team that wasn't supposed to make the playoffs. It's
exactly, yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, you'll take that. Like it's experience. The fact that he saw those games and got to play in the playoffs. But yeah, no, it's just. I mean, he's gonna be good. LA's got a bright future, and then you throw in like guys like Byfield as well.
Turcotte.
Yeah, Turcotte. Oh my God, Alex Turcotte. Yeah, that's right. Almost forgot about him.
The great legends of the LA Kings.
Yes, we would know. We would know.
Oh yeah, we should know that. All around, Steven, out of 10, how satisfied are you with the first round in general?
Oh, the first round? I'm giving that that was easily like a 9 out of 10.
Oh well, okay.
Just because 7 of the 8 series went to game 6, and then of those 7, 5 of them went to game 7. So yeah, you don't see that often. At least in the past few years, we haven't seen that, especially from the first round. So it was very competitive, very tight, and that's what we love to see, man. As neutral hockey fans, I just want to see as much hockey as possible. It's the best time of year for hockey. Playoff hockey it's the best sporting spectacle to watch.
You heard it from Steven here.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going on to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Steven, so far there have been a lot of narratives and things going around. One in particular, I guess since we started last time with the East, we could go with the West.
Sure.
Let's start with Colorado.
Yeah. So currently they're up 3-1 in the series. The only game they lost was game 2.
Right.
And then game 3 had a controversial moment with Kadri crashing the net and injuring Jordan Binnington, which then it was revealed after Binnington would be out for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this, as sad as it is to say, just it was always going to happen because people are like that, just sending racist comments and stuff on social media to Kadri and his family and all that stuff, stuff that just doesn't belong in the game. And even Kadri put it best too in his post-game interview after game 4, his response. I can't say it exactly, but just go and find it. It's all you guys watching. But yeah, even so,
what did he say, Steven? What did he say? You're gonna say something. What did he?
No, I can't remember.
You can't remember what he said?
That's what I said. Just for people to go out and watch it after or something.
What I find hilarious is that the St. Louis coach doesn't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you do
Craig
about that.
Berube says racist comments directed at Colorado Avalanche and Nazem Kadri are in no way acceptable. Okay, actually, he did say something about it.
Okay, yeah, so.
he did say that in Game 4 that he had no comment on the situation. Then
Oh
in
yeah,
Game
about
5, he took it. He went back at it and said it's not acceptable. So
well, yeah. Well, I think the game 4 one he was, or in the game 3 one he was probably just talking about the actual hit itself on Binnington, and he didn't want to say anything because it probably would have led to a fine.
right,
Because I don't think there was a penalty on the call, so I think it would have been he would have been talking about the officials, and then it would have been a fine. So, smart thing to do there. No comment. Everyone, by saying no comment, everyone knows what you're saying.
yeah,
But yeah, then Kadri responded in game 4, like literally right before, I guess what I'm about to say happened.
Yeah.
It's when like Perron just gave him like some good checks from behind, like
good
into the
checks.
bench, like just cross checking it. Well, I mean, at the same time, like you just like this guy.
Are you talking about the checks that he got fined for?
Yes. Yeah.
Because those aren't good checks, man.
No, but hold on.
I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
I'm saying he gave him like some good checks, like they were hard.
Yeah,
like,
but I get that now. Yes,
like they're not good in the sense that like like let's encourage that. Like no, like I'm using it as like an expression, like like when you see someone getting beaten up, it's like, oh, they got fed 5 good ones or whatever.
Well,
it's just
what I hate about the play is that he didn't even have the puck. There was nothing going around, and then Perron, as you were just saying from the last round, you're saying that this guy is someone you could depend on. This is shit that you think Kadri would do. Like Kadri has been known as a player who just doesn't care about the rules, and in the playoffs he had that stigma around him that he would get penalized and whatnot. But now it's reversed, I guess. Was that hit on Binnington? Was it intentional? Was it preventable, or was the other team to blame for that, or is it just a mixture of bad luck?
I honestly can't quite even remember what it was exactly. I just kind of remember he went into him and it looked pretty hard, but I can't remember exactly. But either way, going back to with game 4, like at this point, Kadri.
Oh my God! Sorry,
wasn't on. It's all good. Yeah, but okay. So from Perron's perspective, right?
Yes.
You see the guy who injured your goalie for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
You're gonna do whatever at that moment to that guy to make, like, you got to let it be known that you can't do that.
It wasn't even in the same game though.
Yeah, exactly.
That isn't
the next game.
That's not how it works.
But still,
just like you would say about John Tavares after he got hit by Corey Perry. You said that it had to happen, man. They had to have a fight after the fact.
It shouldn't have happened though. But
they shouldn't have had that fight in general. But it is what it is.
This is different though, because that one was unintentional, and that one too, like Foligno. I don't know why Foligno wanted to fight. I think he just. I don't know. Anyway, we're moving on from that. But
sure.
With Perron, like just the fact, like think about them. So you said like they were bad checks and stuff. I agree, they were. He got fined for it. But that's the thing. He only got a fine. He's going to play tonight.
That's right.
He's not getting suspended. He's playing tonight. If you ask me, that's worth it. All those checks were worth it, man.
Of course. I understand what you're in that regard. It's just not how it should go. It's not how the game should be played at all.
Oh, that's the playoffs, man. That's the nature of the playoffs. That's how it's always been. How it will be for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's just dangerous. You're not trying to kill people here. Those checks were not clean. Those checks were dangerous.
Yeah,
almost to the head. Could have given him a concussion. Could have hurt him to a severe degree.
I think he was trying to hurt him. I think that's
right.
The point.
Yeah, but it's a game of hockey. It's like first round versus Toronto Maple Leafs, and Campbell got taken out by Nick Paul. Mm-hmm. People were like, I hate you, Nick Paul. What are you doing, Nick Paul? When clearly he was pushed in to the goalie.
Yeah, exactly. He was. Like, I don't know. I mean, the people saying that are not correct. And I don't want to talk about them because they don't know what they're talking about.
They would also give coverage. They were like, when that hit happened, they only looked at Campbell. They didn't give a crap about Nick Paul. They just focused dead onto Campbell. And
Nick Paul used to play for Ottawa, so he doesn't matter.
That's
sorry.
Sorry, it doesn't matter. But they should have been showing two sides of the coin here. They were just showing the Toronto Maple Leafs, which I thought that was a bit biased in my opinion.
Well, was the game on Sportsnet? Yeah.
Yeah, those are one of the links that you sent me. The legal links, very legal.
So,
links.
well, that's all I'm saying. Then if it's going to be a Canadian coverage,
right?
They're obviously it's going to be what's the word I'm looking for?
Biased.
It's going to be not biased, but it's going to be told in a way. There's a better word for it, but it's going to be like it's tailored towards the Leaf fans, so they're going to talk about it from that perspective, not necessarily a biased perspective, because I don't think either Craig Simpson or Chris Cuthbert are Leaf fans, so they stay unbiased. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're obviously that's going to be the main concern, because they realize the audience that they're talking to are mostly Leaf fans, so they got to give that information. But I'm sure the Tampa broadcast, yeah, maybe they were talking about Nick Paul going into the post hard. I mean, they did mention it too on Sportsnet, but I don't know. They didn't spend as much time on it because they knew the audience wouldn't care as much about it.
You got a point.
It's all about your market.
You got a point. You're right. We could finish off the Western Conference, so we can go to the next game, and then we could do a prediction for how they'll end. I mean, they're both teams who are leading by 2 wins right now.
Yep.
Both series are 3-1. Calgary versus Edmonton. Edmonton's leading right now. Do you think, from how the playoffs or the series has been going on, that Calgary is really into this game or into this playoff?
Well, I mean,
is it just Markstrom there just doing all the work, and then everyone else is taking a break right now?
I mean, by last night's standards, Markstrom didn't do any work. He led in 2 bad ones right away.
There you go.
Or at least the first one, like the first goal that he allowed was just awful. Like, I mean, you allow a goal like that right away, already you're not feeling good about your game. But they still came back and tied the game. But then even on like that weird Rasmus Anderson goal from his own end, shorthanded.
Yeah.
I thought at that moment for sure, I'm like, Calgary's got to win this game now. Like, Edmonton has nothing. And then, of course, like 2 minutes ago, Edmonton just creates magic out of nothing and scores the go-ahead goal. So, I mean, if you're Calgary, you're happy that you're going back home for Game 5. But at the same time, it's now or never. Like, this is it for them. So
it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, but they have the team to do it. Like, they're on paper, they're much deeper than Edmonton in all departments.
Yeah.
So they have the team to do it. They need to actually do it. They need to actually go on the ice and believe in themselves, I guess. I don't know.
There was also that controversy with Milan Lucic.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mike Smith still playing?
Yep. Oh, yeah, okay. He's good. Yeah, he played last night.
Let's have a look at this play here. If you can give me a little idea of what was going on in that game, Steven, before the hit itself.
Well, I mean, I actually can't remember what the score was at the time.
Oh my.
Be on it quickly. Just based on the final score. Well, it was 4-1, so I think it might have been 4-1 at the time, or maybe even 3-1. Either way, though, I mean,
I think it was game 3.
Yeah, it was. Either way, I mean, like, I don't know, puck was going behind the net. Smith came out to play it. Lucic.
Here, I'm here.
Lucic had speed, and here we'll see it. He doesn't really. I mean, like, he does try to stop. That's the thing too. He does. It's a bit. There's some acting there from Mike Smith.
Well, he didn't even know he was coming, to be honest.
No,
there's no way he was. His back was facing Lucic, so there's no way he could have played that off, or exaggerated. That's the man.
No,
man was taken
that's
out.
True. But if that's a player going back for that puck and they don't shoulder check, that's on the player for not shoulder checking. So Mike Smith maybe should have done a shoulder check and been like, who's coming at me to forecheck? Like, you got to be aware of that. Like, there's no excuse for not looking around. Like, you're in a game of hockey. You always have to be aware of who's around you and who's on the ice. These guys are in the pros, for crying out loud. Like,
Yeah.
they can't. It's not like it's minor. Like, you're not playing like bantam hockey where you have like the stop sign on the back of the jersey to prevent players from hitting them behind. Like,
Yeah.
no, this is the NHL. Like, if a guy's gonna be coming in like that, but again, you do see in the video like Lucic, he's gliding. It actually does look like he tries to stop.
Well, I think you could see in it. He hits him with his left leg. Then whilst he's trying to stop, and then when Mike Smith is falling down, you could see Lucic is putting his arms out trying to hold him. But at that point, Lucic is a train himself.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
What are you doing, son?
No, there's just something on my thumb. That's it.
Okay.
Carry on.
So yeah, you could see that Lucic was trying to slow down the hit, but at the same time, it's just too late.
Yeah.
It's I think it's a little reckless, but as you said, he should have checked himself. Mike Smith should be more aware of what's going on.
I don't think that's suspendable. I don't think there was a fine either on the play.
No, it's a miracle that he didn't get injured at his age, man. That's crazy. The fact that he didn't get injured and he kept on playing, says a lot about Mike Smith, and I like the dude. I like the dude. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think I'm going back to look, but I believe they gave him 5 minutes for charging on the play. So even that, like, he got 5 in a game, and that happened in the what was it? It was the third period.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the third period. So basically, sat out the rest of the period, and then here it is. Milan Lucic 5 in a game at 8:53 in the period, or 8:53 into the period. So basically, he was out for the last like 12 minutes or so. And I feel like they felt like that was enough too. Also, the fact that it was called charging, and then you look in the video and he glided into him. Like, can you imagine if it was Lucic charging into Mike Smith?
Yeah, I think Mike Smith would be out for a few years.
I think even I know Daryl Sutter, he made that joke after the game. Joke. Yeah, he was like, yeah, they gave him 5 for charging. He's like, could you imagine if Lucic actually did charge him?
Yeah. We don't want to see it, but he's right. He's right.
He's absolutely right. Like, if that is an actual Lucic charging penalty and it's a 5-minute charging penalty, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Mike Smith's career would be over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Edmonton has a chance to close it out tomorrow night. I think in minimum they get it done in 6. I don't know about them getting it done in 5. I think it goes 6 or 7 though.
I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Game 5. I'm leaning 65% Edmonton winning that game on Game 5, and as you're saying, Game 6, it's at home turf. It's likely gonna be there that they're gonna have to seal the deal. If they don't seal the deal there, then, oof.
Yeah, Game 7 is gonna be wild.
Yes,
I hope it goes 7. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's only good. I mean, if they could make the games a little earlier instead of 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, that'd be lovely. So regular people can watch it, not night owls.
Yeah, well, as the series goes on, if that's the last remaining series, then it'll probably be at earliest. I'd say it becomes like an 8:00 game. So
just better.
Let's hope for that.
Yeah. Okay, so for Colorado, do you think St. Louis will come back and win it, or is it Colorado going to take it?
I think Colorado wins it tonight.
Okay.
I really do. I'm
going to agree with you on that. Colorado, if they lose against St. Louis, there is going to be so many unhappy people.
Yeah, but they'll still, if they lose the series.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, their heads will roll. I think it's about time that Colorado passes the freaking second round.
Yeah, exactly. You won't be wrong about that.
And then Edmonton should win this one. Connor McDavid all the way. I can support that. He's
just on another level this year. He's insane.
Evander Kane's leading the NHL in terms of goals in the playoffs with 12, which is
I wonder why.
Yeah, you really do wonder.
He has 2 hat tricks.
What an acquisition.
Yeah.
By the Edmonton Oilers. It's a great. Imagine if the Leafs had him. That's crazy. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, he didn't really fit in on the team. There was no point of that, but yeah.
No fit. A power forward on
Yeah,
the
but
Leafs.
Edmonton was also taking a risk at the time, too. I'm pretty sure at the time they signed him, they were like, actually, I can't remember.
How do you take a risk on a two-way deal?
Well, no, it's just because of everything the guy's been through. He hasn't played at all this season up until that point. So yeah. it's a low risk. It's a low risk, high reward, and that's exactly what happened.
Right. Okay. Well, anyways, done with the West. Now let's go to the East. The very easy one. We'll start off with the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Give us a little idea, Steven. What are you feeling?
Tampa kept that one short and sweet and to the point. Just 4 straight games.
4 straight games. Florida could only score 1 max in every game.
Yeah.
That's all they could get. Just 1 goal. With all that firepower, all the acquisitions, from Ben Sherratt to Claude Giroux, it all goes to waste. Do you think it was worth it for Florida to do all those trades?
No, not at all. It's not worth it.
Do you think Claude Giroux is going to come back?
No. I think he goes elsewhere in free agency.
Right.
We'll see what he gets offered and from who and whatnot, but yeah, I don't think he returns.
Would you, I don't know where this came from in my head, but if Claude Giroux said to the Leafs, hey, I'll join your team.
Yes.
And I'll sign a good deal, 2 years, 3-year deal for $5 million. Okay.
Yes.
Would you do it?
Yes. I've been saying yes this entire time. That is my answer.
So then, like, I think the Leafs, what they should do is, I don't know why I'm reverting back to the Leafs, but that would be a good idea to trade Nylander if you can get a caliber of player like Giroux to join your team. Or maybe more of a scoring guy. I mean, Giroux can put the goals in, but I think he's more of a Tavares guy, not a Nylander guy, right? I forget what I'm saying. So, anyways, my point is, you trade Nylander for a younger prospect that's on a 3-year deal to a contract. I think that's possible. There's something out there that you could find. Nylander could literally be a first-line player for you on a team that needs, like, I don't want to say it, but Arizona would probably use that. I don't know if any player would want to go there, really.
I don't think Arizona's a place to go to right now.
Yeah, but we got to talk about. We're gonna make another podcast, guys. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about more of what we missed because we've been gone for so damn long.
Yeah, it's been time.
It's been too much time. Florida, it's just sad that they couldn't pass the second. They passed the first, but that's it. They failed in epic fashion.
That's all they needed. All they needed was that one series win, and that was all that was good enough for them. They didn't need to win any more games.
No, they took a vacation.
Literally.
They had a poor performance in the first round, and then they lose to the Lightning in 4. They lost in how many games last year versus Tampa Bay?
6, I believe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, 6, and they used 3 goalies in that series.
Oh my!
So,
wow.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, that is not good. Okay, well, that's a quick segment there. And then for the more interesting of the series going on right now in round 2 is Carolina versus New York.
Yes, yeah. They're the closest series, actually.
That's right. I have not been paying attention too much on this, other than Tony DeAngelo chirping at his former coach.
Yeah,
which is funny.
No, actually, Gallant wasn't his coach. No,
I saw a video. There was a Gallant having a fight with Tony DeAngelo. I don't know.
Yeah, that he was, but I think Gallant when did the Rangers hire him? I thought he was new this season for them, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. I'll show the clip whilst you're looking around here.
Yeah, of course.
Not happy.
Yeah, this is his first season as Rangers coach. He was off last season.
Would you say that there was any headlines in this series?
Well, besides that, not really. Like it's only been the stuff that's been going on last game and the game before.
I feel like there's something I'm missing. Like there is one thing apart in the series. Oh, well, yeah, there's Kakiniemi.
What happened with him?
Well, actually, didn't Max Domi get hit really hard the other day?
Yeah.
Right? Is that a big hit? You have a
I think it was. Honestly, though, like that series, I've been paying the least attention to.
Okay.
I've still been watching, but I haven't really been as into it as normal.
So we all know how much Kakiniemi is getting paid, correct?
Yep.
Now, how many points do you think he has this year in the playoffs? Yeah,
Like 2, probably.
2, he says. Okay, now if it was more or less, which one would you give? Like the over or the under?
Over, but like probably just 3 or 4 then.
In 11 playoff games, he has a -4 with 0 goals and 1 assist.
Ah, wow.
Yes.
Oh, either way, I wasn't far off, so
Do you
pat myself on the back.
do you think that it was a mistake for the Carolina Hurricanes to have acquired Kakiniemi?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, so yes. I think it's a mistake for any team to acquire Kotkaniemi.
So in retrospect, Mark Bergevin did the good move.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like paying him 1 year for $6 million, or what is it, $6 million getting paid this year?
6.1. And then I think he signed until he's 30.
Yeah, that's right. He did get extended. Oh my god.
A nasty one.
Right.
I think it was 5.8 or 4.8. I gotta double check that.
4.8.
Yeah. 4.8 until 2029, 2030.
Which isn't bad. Just the length, though, is the one thing that you're like, yeah.
That's an expensive third liner.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they hope that he grows into a second liner.
Yeah.
Because especially for 8 more years, like,
Jeez.
they see something. This could be a deal that, yeah, you either look back and it's like, didn't work out, or they'll be laughing in like 5 years from now and it's like, holy crap, they just got the steal of the century.
If he's actually played properly, then I'm sure he could get his points back up to what they were in Montreal, especially in the playoffs. He did wonders in the playoffs. For some reason, it's there you go. Yeah, he did wonders. I mean, he got -5 last year in 19 games. We still got 8 points. That's a lot better than what he is getting right now. The year before that, it was 10 games played, 4 goals, 4 points. Yeah. That's also good too. Is it too late to call him a bust, or too early? Sorry, call him a bust.
Yeah, I think it's still way too early. He's still young. He's only this is only his 4th year in the league.
He's 21. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it time. Give it time.
Max Domi, on the other hand, he has 5 points in 11 games.
Yeah.
He's been doing pretty well for himself.
Mm-hmm. No complaints there.
No. So yeah, I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, and then just our predictions for that series, since the other one's done.
That's a tough one. I feel like New York could do an upset.
Okay. 6 or 7 games.
7. It's got to go to 7.
All right. So I think I'll say 7 as well.
Yep.
But
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I think Carolina takes it. I think they continue to win all their home games and lose all their road games.
Okay, it's a good bet. Okay,
it's safe. It's the safe one. Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I would agree with you, but I'm not a betting man.
So yeah, don't agree.
Don't agree with that. I think the Canes, that statistic, if it keeps going on, of course, yeah. But then what happens when they play against Tampa?
Well, that's the thing. Then
is Carolina going to be able to keep that pace going?
Probably not, because Tampa's just on another level.
And would Carolina even have the home ice advantage?
Yes, they would actually.
Okay, so it could end up being like a Toronto Maple Leaf series then.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Where like they trade wins, and then Game 7, Tampa just it goes like, "Hey, we're Tampa. We're gonna win."
Out of the two, just something about the Rangers yell at me saying we could maybe beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. With Igor
Really?
Shesterkin.
I
Look,
mean, yeah.
the
yeah,
way
fair
that they're
enough.
holding up versus Carolina and that they were able to plow through the Crosby-less Penguins.
Oh, he was back for Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
He only missed Game 6. That was it.
Okay, well, that's good. Good to hear that he came back. And the fact that Carolina loses in the away games.
Mm-hmm.
So if Rangers could just squeak out one win, maybe Game 6, or sorry, Game 5.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah, win tomorrow night, and then hopefully win Game 6. I guess that's the only way they could take it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you can only chance that home game once, unless if it's Game 5 or Game 7.
Yeah.
Flip flop. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to take over a home game, or else they're out of it.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. They got to win 2 of the next 3, and 2 of the next 3 are going to be played in Carolina. So yes, you are absolutely correct about that.
Although the 2 games that were played in Carolina were very close. One went to overtime, and one was just a 2-goal game for both teams. So
Yeah.
to be determined what's going to happen to that series, but we will keep a watchful eye out on that. Steven, is there anything else we want to talk about?
I think that's all. I'm good.
Awesome.
You?
Yeah, I'm good for today, guys. Leave a like, subscribe. We will be coming back. I swear to God, we will be back. We will be back.
Yes. We won't take another 3 weeks off.
Round 3.
Unless we do.
Yeah, if we do, just DM us. Just make sure we're alive, please.
We'll see you at the draft, guys.
That's right. We'll see you in Montreal, boys. Boys and girls. Okay, see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.